Idaho leads the nation in potato production, and dairy is the #1 agriculture industry. And Idaho and Oregon together produce 25% of the nation's yellow onions. But COVID-19 is hitting these industries hard. Idaho News 6 reporter Lindsay Amundsen tells us how it could affect you.
I won't say the supply chain is broken. The supply chain has been disrupted in a monumental way.
The agricultural supply chain flows like a river, a steady flow from the farms to end markets like restaurants, schools, and grocery stores. But what happens when that flow has stopped because those end markets are closed or have low demand?
If that flow gets dammed up somewhere, then there's got to be capacity to store.
But the problem is food can only be stored for so long before it begins to rot.
For most commodities, there's just not capacity to really do anything with that stuff. If people don't buy it and eat it, we really can't store very much of it.
That's why farmers are having to throw out much of their already harvested products.
That's what you rely on day to day. That's what I take care of my animals with. That's what I pay all my employees with. That's what I take care of my family with. And so, when you're dumping it down the drain, it's tough.
Even with low demand, farmers still have to milk cows and harvest fields. But who takes the hit? Well, farmers and their employees.
Instead of seeing layoffs and people out of work here, you're going to see the farmers and dairymen absorb a lot of those losses in taking out loans to be able to continue operation.
Without restaurants and schools, people aren't consuming as much dairy and produce as they normally would with restaurants still open.
And that's where we've seen the shift and hit our demand in the dairy industry is disappeared because individuals aren't eating out as much as they did before, and they've changed their eating habits.
But even with the coronavirus food assistance program providing $19 billion to support food producers in the U.S., Tom still expects to see some farms go out of business. Lindsay Amundsen, Idaho News 6.
Rick says the upside of not slowing down production when the demand is low is that when restaurants are open again and the demand is back to normal, people won't have to worry about not having dairy and produce because the farms will already be producing enough.